So, hello and welcome to The Mind of a Dummy, part number 9, I believe. And this week we'll just discuss my diary again. We will discuss mental health, then a new, how maybe my podcast will evolve in the future. Then we'll talk about passion, about deep questions that you should ask yourself. Then we're talking about organization and learning to stay calm. We're talking also about like how to get out of your comfort zone, or better said, why to do it. And then we're also a little bit talking about productivity, how to boost productivity. It's just a way that I found was useful for myself. And then the last thing is something about discipline. And I want to start making it more professional. So we will now create a slogan. I don't know. Let me think of one. I don't have one. If you have one, write it. Please write it down in the comments. I will also probably make a YouTube or TikTok. Just a short to ask you guys. So yeah. But next week we'll be starting with a slogan. So now let's hop right into it. So the first topic is, or the first note in my journal is, mental health is detrimental. And I don't even know if detrimental is the right word to use there, but I just want to say mental health is really important. And why is that? So the last week, I wasn't in the best mental health state. I was doing pretty bad for the first few days of the week. Just felt exhausted, and I didn't know why, and I still don't know. Well, I have some guesses, but I still don't really know why. So I probably got kind of burned out, or just lost connections to friends. I just turned inward myself again and didn't really share what was happening. Or if I really think about it, I don't know what happened. But what I've noticed, and that's the more important lesson from that, is that in order for you to do what you love and love what you do, your mental health needs to be on point. And even if you do what you love, your mental health isn't always going to be on point. And you're also a human. Like, you need breaks, take breaks. And yeah, that's something I learned this week. And for maximum performance, also in training, in every aspect of life, you need a good mental health, because bad mental health will ruin it. Where I felt it the most was in practice. I do Muay Thai, and I really felt that my body was just exhausted from existing, and I didn't have too much energy left to go into training. I still did it, but it didn't felt good. So point number 2 in my diary, in my diary. Don't forget that you are human. Yeah, and we just discussed that. So you're a human. You need breaks. You need connection. What else do we need? That's just the 2 things that come into my mind now. And just don't forget your basic needs as a human. You can't work 24/7 like a computer. You just need that breaks. Like for me, breaks are working out. I really enjoy working out, and it really lets my mind go into a space of just peace. And I can achieve the same state with friends, but usually in the gym I feel it better, but it depends. So next point in my diary is, I want to start go to the streets and just interview random people. I think that's something that I'll do in the future, but I still need some time because it's uncomfortable, you're not gonna lie, but I really want to know how people view lives, their lives. I'm probably gonna do it in Swiss German. So if you're an English listener, you won't understand it. You won't understand a single word. You will hear like, but yeah. Um, Maybe I will translate it, but this will take a lot of time. It's a project for the future. But the questions I want to ask the strangers are, how did or I want to ask, especially stranger that seem like they've their life in control. And for sure, the first thing I'm gonna ask is like, who are you? How old are you? What are you doing? And then I'm gonna ask like, do you love what you do? Why do you do it? And stuff like that. But then if I recognize that they really love what they do and I can see it in their eyes and they're not just lying about it, I'm gonna ask them like stuff that really interests me for myself too. Like, how did you know that you are on the right path? Like, how did he know that the thing that he was pursuing for his future life was the right thing to pursue? Or another questions, how did you know something was right for you? Like, how did you know that that thing was the thing that you want to pursue? Just those basic questions I think that every human asks themselves. And another question I wrote down is, how does it feel to be passionate about something? Does it feel rewarding? Does it feel, is it like a roller coaster with ups and downs? Like, yeah, it just interests me how it is. Yeah, stay tuned for the Swiss viewers. For the English viewers, I probably don't have a single English viewer. I don't even know how many viewers I have. Probably about 10. And most of them are friends and family, but it's okay. Yeah. So the next thing is learn how to stay organized and calm. So organization starts in your room. Like, make your bed. Um, when something goes out of control, learn to stay calm. That's something I really struggle with because me, I like I like to plan everything. I don't know why. I like it structured. And if something doesn't go as planned, I really it really kills my peace, and that's not a good point because true peace isn't built on a perfect schedule being executed without any mistakes. Peace is being at peace all the time, even if you fail, even if you do mistakes, like everything. Like, that's also why I felt bad. Like, I didn't felt great because I don't know. That's just being a human. And then I backtested. I lost all my backtests, my life traits, everything lost. I lost. Then I don't know. It was just stacking each other, and then I forgot to see the positive sides. But yeah, and that's just, I think, if I would be more organized and really, or I think the biggest thing is stop procrastinating things. Yeah, because it's just gonna be a burden for your future self. Like, washing the dishes, wash them now, not later. If you have time now, of course, if you don't have time, make it later. But if you have time, just do it now. Like, it takes 5 minutes. Yeah. And staying calm is, I'm currently learning how to drive, and I drove into my parking door, garage door, yeah, and it really pissed me off because it killed my confidence for driving on parking. And I already did another how you call it, Unfall. What's that in English? Wait, I'll look it up. Unfall. I also did another accident. Oh, what the retard. It was my second accident. It wasn't that severe as the first one because on the first one I destroyed the car, and now I just destroyed the old wooden garage door. But it really killed my peace, and it really made me doubt myself a lot. But I feel a lot better now. Then the next thing is get out of your comfort zone. So I think, how do I start here? So I think a lot of people nowadays, they they often do things not because they really want to do them, but because the the majority of people does it. So they're like following the crowd. And what I've noticed is that following the crowd doesn't make you happy or fulfilled. Like you need to find your own path, and finding that own path, or even more um, formally articulated. Can you say that like that? I hope so. Which is better said is going your own path is gonna be uncomfortable and it's gonna be hard. But I think the goal in life is to become just you, because I think that's one of the hardest things to do on this planet, like being yourself. And if you look at all the successful peoples, if you look at all the successful people, I think most of them, not there's always um, some Ausnahmen. Yeah, just some people that don't fit into that genre I just created. So, but for the majority of people, it's true that the most famous people are just being themselves. They're not hiding anything from anyone. And I think that's just what makes them so famous, you can call it, because they're authentic. They want to stick out, or they don't want to stick out, but they do stick out because they're just who they were meant to be. And that's my advice for you. Just be yourself. Like, pursue what you want and say what you think. And yeah, don't keep people into your life because you're scared of being lonely. Because I'd rather be alone than with just fake friends that would leave immediately if something goes wrong. And that's my vision of getting out of your comfort zone, like becoming yourself and doing things that you want to do but are uncomfortable. For some it might be going to the gym. For me it is now to interview random people on the streets. It's very different for everyone. But it just needs to be uncomfortable for you. And just do one thing that you hate every day or every week, and with that you will callous your mind. And one day you will realize that callousing your mind is actually what makes you happy. That's what I'm realizing slowly. Because I really like to talk to people, but most of the time I'm just scared. It's not just the interviews I want to make, it's just also the talking to random strangers, like giving compliments, just those little things. Yeah. So the next point in my diary is something about to boost productivity. So it's like do a to-do list before working to maximize workflow. So that's something I started doing this week, like here. So I have a book and I just write down my to-do list for this day, and then I write down the things that I want to do, because I think often we know what we want to do, but we don't know where to start. And then I write them down, make a checkbox, and I just start. I pick one and do it. Pick one, do the next. Pick one, do the next. And since I've done that, I've got way more productive, and it's also more rewarding to do stuff, because you can like track your progress. You can see, oh, I did something. I can do a mark. I don't know. It's that's also something from Atomic Habits that I've learned. Like, if you make your progress visible, it's more rewarding, and I think that's what it does here. It's just more rewarding to do stuff. So try to implement that maybe. Like, if you want to study, say my study plan, and do like a plan for studying. Or if you sit down on a computer and wanna learn about the topic, I don't know, just write down what you want to do. It doesn't need to be in an order. You just need to see what you want to do and then pick one and execute. That's how I do it. And if you don't do it, just write it for the next day, and then you always have something to do. So you don't need to scroll on social media to be, how you call it? You don't need to scroll on social media to have something to do. I didn't find the word, sorry. Yeah, and now the last thing. Only the ones who are disciplined are truly free. So I hear often that people that are disciplined restrict themselves so much that like they feel trapped. But I really want to put this into other perspective now, because like think of it. Let's first think of a person that's undisciplined. So he do whatever he wants. So he wakes up, he goes to his job. While going to his job, he sees I don't know, he goes to a supermarket and he wants to have breakfast. And today he wants a chocolate croissant with chocolate milk. Perfect. So he buys that and eats it. Then he works. He works. While working, he's sipping, of course, an iced tea, because why would you drink water when you can drink an iced tea that's sweeter and tastes better? Then, because work is making him feel a little numb and tired, he's gonna smoke a cigarette and drink some energy drinks during the break, that he can continue working and his mental state doesn't shift. And he's just doing that because he wants to do it. He has free will. And then for lunch, I don't know, he didn't brought anything, he didn't meal prep, so he's just gonna eat whatever's there available. Fortunately today there's a nice meal in the, how you call it, just a place where you go eat at work. And yeah, he eats there. He ate some rice with chicken and broccoli, so actually a nice meal. But usually he eats like garbage, like donuts or whatever he wants, like bread with butter, I don't know, just or he orders junk food like KFC, McDonald's. That's what he likes to do because it's so tasty. Then he continues working, smokes another cigarette, drinks another energy drinks, and after work, he's so tired. He just want to get home. He gets home, goes in front of his television, and just eats his chips because he's hungry again, and he doesn't want to feel bad. Then he might grab an ice cream too because he wants something sweet. And yeah, he did everything he wanted to do. But now if you do that for like 1 or 2 years, you're gonna be fucked. You're gonna be obese. You're gonna be depressed. You're gonna have a smoker's lung. You probably won't like your job anymore. Um, you will be probably single because, or maybe you have a girlfriend. I don't know, but yeah, let's keep it at 4. And yeah, your life probably will be miserable, and you will feel like shit. Probably I already said that, but that's how I think of living life how you want to live it, just doing what you want. And now let's look at the disciplined man. He's called Jason. So he wakes up, he makes his bed to make sure that his room is tidy. He goes into the living room, and the first thing he does is he goes into his balcony and just looks outside at the sun. Then he goes inside, grabs his coffee, makes himself some eggs with olive oil, eats them. Then he goes to work, and of course his bag is already packed because he already packed the bag the day before. He hops onto the train. On the train, instead of scrolling, he reads a book. I don't know which book, but he just reads a book, or he watches some educational content. Um, yeah. Then he arrives at work. He knows he doesn't like the work, but he still he still tries to do best to take advantage of what he already has. So he engages with people during the break. Instead of smoking and being on your phone and scrolling and drinking energy, he talks to his mates, builds relationships. For lunch, of course, he meal prepped a chicken with rice and broccoli, so actually the same meal, but he eats it consistently. He eats consistently healthy. Then he didn't brought his iced tea or cola. He actually brought water because he thinks of sugary drinks as a it's unnecessary for him, because why should he drink that if it's bad for him? And he do wants it though, but he's being disciplined and doesn't doesn't want to drink it every day. That's the difference. He does drink it occasionally, but he doesn't drink it every day. So after lunch he continues working. He's a little tired. He sips some of his water. Maybe he brought his electrolytes that wake him up a little, or maybe he also drinks a coffee, black, no sugar, no cream, nothing, just black coffee. After work, he feels tired because work is exhausting for your mental health, especially. But he still goes to the gym because that's just what that's just his routine. He's being disciplined. He's going to the gym. He has a good workout. After the workout, he feels great. He doesn't feel tired anymore, but he's just like relaxed. Then when he gets home, he cooks his meal. He probably says hello to his beautiful wife. His daughter comes up running into his arms and says, "Daddy, I missed you." If he has a son, his son too. They eat dinner together. They laugh. Then I don't know, they do something together. They go for a walk, talk about it, talk about their days, or they just do something by themselves. That's also fine. Like maybe the dad wants to go to the spa. He goes to the spa. Maybe he wants to watch a movie with his wife and children, and he watches a movie. Or maybe he needs or wants to continue working, and or maybe he has to work, and he needs to be disciplined. And maybe he also checks his investings, because he invests his money every month, now and then, and he just looks that his money is he he invests his money right, so that even when everything he's working for now doesn't work out, he's secured for the future. And now, if you live like him for the next years, you're gonna be jacked. Still gonna have a wonderful wife. You will have children that love you for who you are and not who you pretend to be. You have children who are proud of you, or are proud of calling you dad, or if you're a girl, of proud of calling you mom. You have a lot of good relationships from work, from the gym, just from everywhere. You for sure will be healthier. Um, just there's so many positive points that will pop up, and it's just because you don't do what you actually want to do, and you just are being disciplined. And I think that's the art of discipline. Like, the art of discipline is you do things that aren't rewarding right now, but they're rewarding in the future. And that's the difference with being undisciplined and disciplined. And that's why I personally choose discipline over being undisciplined. Yeah, it can go to extremes, like being too disciplined, burn out, yeah, sure. But I think it's important to find your middle. Every middle is different, but you need to find something that you can do, a level of discipline that you can manage, and also a kind of freedom that you don't feel trapped. Because me myself, I feel trapped sometimes, but then I remind myself, am I really trapped? Because I'm doing what I want. I don't need to force myself to do that stuff. I just do it because I really want to do it actually. And I think a lot of undisciplined people actually have some dreams that they could chase, but they don't chase them because they don't know where to start, and they never get out of their comfort zone and try it. And yeah, start small, change one habit at a time, and do that, and add another one. Add another one, and slowly you will re-rail your entire life, and eventually you will find happiness, or I don't know what you'll find, but I know you will feel better. You will have more up and downs for sure, but you will have ups, and I think as an undisciplined person you have more downs than ups. But I'm not sure because I can't really talk for an for an undisciplined person. So that was it for podcast number 9. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, also check out my other socials. I do trading. I post reels on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram. And if you haven't followed me on those socials, please follow. And if you enjoyed the podcast, also don't be scared to... Can you follow on Spotify? I don't know. Just that you don't miss any updates. Have a nice week and liberate yourself from being lazy.